Let me now welcome then on board Kunal as well as Nooresh and find out whether the market gains are going to be intact or not. Kunal, any reason to worry about profit taking or thinking whether we're reaching a peak?
No, I don't see anything like that on the indices. We are into a fine fettle on the index trends. Sector churn is also quite strong. In fact, today we are seeing two classical trends. The Nifty Pharma index taking a bit of a backseat. Auto index seeing a mild correction, especially the large cap names and the performing stocks, which have done reasonably well over the last 3-4 days of the end of June expiry, start of July expiry, as well as from the March close for themselves. And the money and the churn is happening at the PSU banking stocks, private sector banking names. So as of now, we are not seeing any kind of a frenzy or euphoria into the market internals, and I think that could be reason enough that maybe this trend would sustain. Now we ideally look out for psychological levels where there's some amount of call which happens. So 19,500 becomes a round strike, which could probably be a near-term target which you can keep for the index spot levels for the weekly expiry that's on Thursday.
Nooresh, we are off to a good start for the week and for the series. Are we likely to build on it, or at some point in time it'll be like law of gravity which markets have ignored for a long time?
So this is the fourth gap up on the Nifty. We generally don't get more than 4 or 5 gap ups. There is generally a pause after the fourth gap. So a little bit of a pause is possible over the next couple of sessions. The difference today is if you look at the Nifty, we are up 130 points. But out of that, 90 to 100 point comes from the two names, Reliance and HDFC Twins, which were laggards for a long period of time. So the leadership is changing. We are getting the heavyweights do well. So going forward, it could be purely an index move could continue or not fall as much. But there is some bit of a pause in some stocks. But the trend is still strong, and it could build on purely if these two names sustain. So we saw new high on HDFC Bank, but could not sustain there. But it's still at that 1730 mark. If that sustains, that itself can push the Nifty. So overall, the bias is positive. A 2-day pause could be normal, which could be, say, we go towards 19,200, 19,150 levels. So overall, the bias is positive. And after a 2-day fall, we could again resume.
What do we have? We've got a nice little steady bounce in Zomato. Looking good, looking strong. Could it catch up? In fact, I actually thought 8-10 days ago that some of these consumer tech and fintech stocks should peak out because US interest rates were likely to move higher, and the Nasdaq in a sense did show a little bit of hum and drum here and there. But given what's happened to Apple, how Microsoft and Nvidia are moving higher, I guess one should not be in a hurry to really call some of these stocks a top yet. So Nooresh, where does good old Zomato goes from here?
So on expected lines, the stock is taking some bit of a pause at that 75.80 mark, which was the previous say highs made in 2022. So if you go back to 2022, it peaked out at around 79.80 levels. Then in end of 2022 also was 75. So it made this breakout move from 55 to this 80 mark, and we are still again seeing that resistance to be seen at around 80. So some more time before it can break beyond 80. Would like a dip ideally to take an entry again, but the stock has not corrected over the last 3 weeks. It's gone into a sideways range. 73 has been a short-term range. 79 on the upside is a problem. 79.80. So overall, the trend has reversed. We'll continue to see pauses and a little bit of a dip. That should be an opportunity. So overall, above 80 is the next trend momentum coming in. For now, one wants to be looking to buy at 68 to 73 band.